What's the most twisted thing your family expected you to sacrifice? My parents demanded that I deliberately fail my final exams, so my younger brother could be the first in our family to graduate, because men need education more than women. I'd worked for 4 years straight, perfect attendance, extra credit on everything. While my brother Tobias played video games until 3 a.m., I was solving calculus problems by lamplight, but none of that mattered to my parents. My parents were both high school dropouts who'd saved every penny for their children's education, except they only planned for one of us to actually graduate. When I tested gifted and Tobias struggled to maintain C's, they panicked. The family name continues through sons, my father said, like it was scripture. You can marry well without a diploma. Tobias needs this for his future. 3 months before graduation, with acceptance letters from Stanford, Yale, and MIT sitting in my drawer, my mother sat me down at our kitchen table. She'd made my favorite meal. That should have been my first warning. Ren, sweetheart, we need you to take your final exams and mark every answer wrong. Tobias is finally passing his classes. The family can only celebrate one graduate, and it needs to be him. She'd already told our entire extended family that Tobias was the genius, that I'd lost focus senior year. Boy crazy, she called it, even though I'd never been on a single date. They made me tutor Tobias every night while forbidding me from studying. If they caught me with a textbook, they'd confiscate it. You're confusing yourself, Mom would say. Just focus on helping your brother. I watched them celebrate his C+ in biology like he'd cured cancer. Meanwhile, my AP chemistry teacher pulled me aside, concerned about my sudden decline. Mom told her I was distracted by boys and parties. The teacher knew I'd never been to a party in my life, but what could she do? They took my textbooks, canceled my library card, installed parental controls on my computer that blocked educational websites. Dad would quiz Tobias at dinner while making me serve the food. Smart boys need brain fuel, he'd say, piling more potatoes on Tobias's plate. The gaslighting was relentless. You were never that smart anyway, Mom started saying. We probably pushed you too hard. This is better for everyone. They rewrote history, claiming Tobias had always been the gifted one. 2 weeks before finals, they showed me the acceptance letters they'd hidden. Stanford, Yale, MIT. Then they burned them in the backyard while Tobias filmed it on his phone, laughing. Content for my college application video, he said. That's when I decided they could control my environment, but not my mind. I'd spent 4 years memorizing everything. Every formula, every date, every theorem. My brain was my own. The morning of finals, Mom drove me to school herself. Remember, she said, every answer wrong. I'll be checking your scores. Tobias's future depends on your sacrifice. I sat in that first exam room, calculus, looking at problems I could solve in my sleep. Every instinct screamed to fill in the correct answers. Instead, I did exactly what they asked. I took those tests. I marked answers. I turned them in. But I didn't mark them wrong. I aced every single one. When the results came back, I was valedictorian. Perfect scores across the board. The principal called our house personally to congratulate my parents on raising such a gifted daughter. The rage was volcanic. Mom screamed that I'd destroyed our family. Dad threw furniture. Tobias posted on social media that I was a selfish bitch who couldn't stand to see a man succeed. They tried everything. Claimed I cheated. Told Stanford I was mentally unstable. When that failed, they showed up at graduation claiming a family emergency. But I'd prepared for this. My history teacher, Mrs. Chen, had been watching this unfold for 4 years. She'd kept every email from my parents asking her to lower my grades, every excuse about why I couldn't attend academic competitions, every lie about my behavioral problems. When my parents tried to legally block my Stanford enrollment, claiming I was mentally incompetent, Mrs. Chen testified. So did 6 other teachers. The judge was horrified. Not only did I get to attend Stanford, I got a restraining order. Graduation day, I gave my valedictorian speech to a packed auditorium. My parents weren't there. The restraining order made sure of that, but my teachers were. Front row, crying. I talked about sacrifice, about how sometimes the people who claim to love you most will ask you to make yourself smaller so they feel bigger, about how excellence isn't selfish when someone else's success requires your failure. The standing ovation lasted 5 minutes. Stanford gave me a full ride plus stipends. I graduated summa cum laude, got my PhD, became the youngest department head in the university's history. Tobias dropped out sophomore year of community college, still lives with our parents, still blames me for his failures. They send me letters sometimes, not apologies, invoices, for the cost of raising me, since I refused to pay them back with sacrifice. I use them as bookmarks in my published research papers. My name is Dr. Ren Ashford, first in my family to graduate high school, first to attend college, first to get a doctorate, first to choose myself. Some prices are too high to pay. Some sacrifices are just another word for sabotage. And sometimes the only way to honor your family is to become everything they tried to prevent. They wanted me to fail so he could succeed. Instead, I succeeded so every girl after me would know she didn't have to fail. The family name continues through accomplishments, not chromosomes, and I've got plenty of both.